But yeah, you're fooling yourself if you're thinking like your girl is staying 100% faithful while you're locked up.
Hmm. So okay, so let's flip the scenario, right? So what if that girl really is holding it down, right?
Mm.
And would that make the nigga that, because really you're not supposed to think that she doing it if you got that amount of time, just realistically speaking. But like, what if she is holding it down? Would would that dude be considered insecure?
Oh, but yo, okay, so I see what you're saying. But that's not something that you ever heard that saying like, yo, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, does it make a sound,
Mm.
right?
Hmm.
So
I see what you're trying to say.
yeah, so you're not trying to as long as she's not um like everybody doesn't know about it and the word gets back to you, all of that there, whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
honestly that should be none of your concern as long as she's doing
Right.
right by you,
Yeah.
visiting you, making sure you're all right and everything like that.
Yeah.
Then that's honestly that's like the most you can ask for.
Hell
Like
yeah.
everything else, like trying to make somebody stop their whole life and all that, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it's just not
it's
realistic.
no, it's not realistic and it's not fair
Yeah.
because like if you ever like and I thought about this when on my way to the box one day. So
Mm.
like they got facilities that's just the whole facility is a box.
Know what you're talking
So
about.
one day I was on the bus. We was going to the box from the facility that I was leaving to the box. So the
Mm.
box was up in like it's called Southport, but it's by like in the town of Elmira or whatever.
Mm.
So but the jail that I was in was Coxsackie, which is close to Albany, which is where I'm from.
Mm.
So I was like, let me look at the clock and see how long it takes to get from Albany to Southport. That was a 5 hour ride.
Mm.
It was a 5 hour ride. I was like, yo. I started thinking to myself, if if my person was locked up, would I drive 5 hours to go see her
Yeah.
and drive back 5 hours? But 5 hours, bro,
Mm.
driving just to
Yeah.
go sit in a visiting room with somebody for a few hours
Hell
and,
yeah.
and just to see them, talk to them, whatever, and then have to get in the car. And mind you, that's if you even get in,
Mm.
because some women will go to see a dude and they'll tell her, "Oh no, you can't wear that in here."
Oh yeah.
You know.
Nah, I've seen that before. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll say you smell like something you don't even smell like.
Hmm.
Turn you around.
Yeah, yeah. After you done drove mad hours.
Yeah. So that leads me to this because I'm just starting thinking about this, right? What do you think about how? Because I've lived in areas like they call them like prison towns, right? Where
Hmm.
like it's just one big prison and the whole community. That's where they work. Like the
Hmm. Hmm.
grandfather worked there, the
Hmm. The
son,
sun there,
and
yeah.
they all living off that, and they create, and you know what I'm saying, generations is having a job off that. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I actually had a class, right, called oh man, what the hell? It was called something development, like city planning or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote a paper in that class called just that. It was called Prison Town.
Mm-hmm.
And in that paper, um, because whenever you write a paper in college, you got to incorporate stuff from the class and terms and all that. So one of the terms that the guy was really stressing was primary and secondary facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Primary use facilities and secondary use facilities.
Yeah.
So he was explaining how like if you build an arena,
Mm-hmm.
like let's just say Madison Square Garden. right? Madison Square Garden is built, and because they have Madison Square Garden, they need grocery stores, and they need gas stations, and they need all these other things because when people come to this arena, they're gonna need gas for their cars. They're gonna need
Mm-hmm.
food. They're gonna need
Yeah.
you know pharmacy. They're gonna need all these things come from the primary use facility.
Mm-hmm.
But if you only have a primary use facility and you don't have a secondary or a couple of secondaries or a couple of primaries,
Mm-hmm.
then once that arena goes down or closes, then everything else is going to close. Right? So I said, wow, I said the prison is the same way because you can have a prison built like when I think Pataki came in office in New York. He promised to create more jobs, and the way he created more jobs was stiffer prison sentences
Mm-hmm.
and building more prisons upstate.
Yeah.
So when you build a prison, though, now, like I said, now you have to build, you have to have gas stations there because, or in or around that area, so people can
Mm-hmm.
gas up their cars.
Hospitals now.
Then hospitals, then grocery stores, all of those things come up, off the prison, and then you have people that are gonna be like, you know what, let me move closer to where I work at. So
Mm-hmm.
now we got housing now in that area, close to that area. Um, so all these people depend on this one primary use facility. And then, like you said, you have the grandfathers are working there, and
Mm-hmm.
then okay, the sons are working there, and then
Mm-hmm.
the son's son
Grandson.
is working, and so on and so forth. And then you know that creates a whole what they call like an enclave economy, so to speak, where it's like
Mm-hmm.
that closed in, tight knit economy. But the bad thing about that, like being somebody who lives there and a prisoner in there,
Yeah.
is that like when you have people that work in there who know each other,
Mm-hmm.
who are family members, or
Mm-hmm.
people who are married, it becomes a us against them type of situation. It's already a us against them because you have one set of people wearing one uniform and one set of people wearing another, uniform.
Mm-hmm.
But it becomes a us against them situation because now you're dealing with family members.
Yeah.
And imagine if you worked in a place and your brother or your sister or your mom or your pops that you care about work there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna make sure they all right.
Yeah. And then
And
ain't no fairness for real. Hard to be fair.
exactly, exactly, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, would you say that's fucked up or that's just economics?
I would think it's both because if like Karl Marx would say, that's
Mm-hmm.
look what it is. It's a prison. It's not meant to be a nice place. And
Yeah.
everything that comes from it is just gonna spawn, bull crap.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when you have this place as a primary facility, and some people will argue, listen, okay, yeah, that's my brother, that's my cousin, that's my sister, whatever, but where else are we supposed to work?
Yeah.
This is the place where people work. You may
Yeah.
have some that are corrections officers, you may have some that are uh, medical staff, you may have some that, have different rankings in the facility, but they all work in the same facility.
Yeah. Because a lot of them, that's like because from like experiencing those type of towns, a lot of them, that's like it's only two places in that town where you can make 30K plus. You either work at the
Mm-hmm.
prison or you work at the hospital, and I feel like that's a strategic thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. 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 In the prison, you don't have to have such a high level of education.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now,
You can go through the training, and then if you make it through the training, then You can work in a prison.
Yeah, for sure. So, what would you feel like your biggest accomplishment was?
Oh man,
Yeah, I know you got more coming. You know what I'm saying? Life's still, you know what I'm saying? Life's still young. You feel me? You got so much
yeah,
more to
yeah.
go. But as of right now,
I'll say my biggest accomplishment. Oh man, is just having my own business, man. Working for myself, and I have an employee now too.
that's what's up.
Uh, I mean, and I don't like I I try to show her, as much as I can
Hmm.
because like as I stated earlier, like employer employee, we know what kind of relationship that is. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? Because she's not making the same money I am,
Hmm.
but I have the means of production. I have, all the tools and stuff like that.
Hmm.
However, I do encourage her, and she does take heed to what I say, most of it, to, buy your own tools so
Hmm.
you can start working for yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like, it's not just this job for her is, in my opinion, should be a learning experience for her to accumulate the knowledge that she can, accumulate the money that she needs to get her own stuff, and then go out on her own and work for herself. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Facts. Facts. Um, so now you did your time, right? And it's your first day out. You know, everybody talk about that. Everybody remember their first day out. What was that like for you?
Hmm.
What was your mentality like stepping out?
Stepping out, my mentality was like, yo, let's get it. Let's go. Like, you see my
Mm.
Instagram name is straight up out the gate. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, like, straight up out the gate, I was, went and opened a bank account, went and got my little, uh, 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 I wouldn't say weight room, but it's not weight room out here. It's called the freaking gym
Well,
membership.
mhm,
I'm about to say the weight room. uh, you know, uh, Went and got my learner's permit for driving, then
mhm,
got my driver's license, uh, got my passport.
mhm,
I had so many people telling me, "Oh, did you ask permission from your parole officer, Benji's? What up, Benji? Did you ask
mhm.
permission?" I'm like, why would I ask permission to be told no? Like, just go and do what you got to do. They didn't say that you can't do it, so get
Yeah.
your mind out of being locked up. Like,
Hold
you
on.
see
Why would
that?
you have to ask for permission though?
Nah, this is the whole thing. You got some people who was like
Oh, that mentality.
that mentality that like let me ask first. You understand what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So like my whole thing was like I'm not gonna be that dude that like Shawshank Redemption. He's bagging up groceries, telling my boss, "Can I go to the bathroom?" Dude, yo, you're not locked up no more. You ain't gotta ask nobody to go to the bathroom, bro. Like
Yeah.
just freaking go, do you. So
Yeah.
like same thing when you out here doing stuff like if it's not a law against it, if somebody's telling me it's not in my parole stipulations that I can't do it, then I'm doing it.
Yeah. So, I noticed one of the first thing you mentioned was getting a gym membership. Why was that so important to you?
Because I felt like I still needed to maintain uh,
A
a nice
routine.
a nice physique first of
Oh,
all,
yeah.
and then second of all, it's like yo, keep doing the thing that keeps you even.
Mm,
Keep doing the thing that keeps you even. Like my man right here, Benji. Benji's
mm,
big as fuck, bro. Like Benji's a fucking monster. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? Uh, Shout out to Benji.
That's
Uh,
what's up.
and he'll tell you like that's the thing that keeps you good up here and keeps you from breaking a motherfucker up, bro. Like when you really want to.
Yeah, keep you focused.
Yeah.
So, so you don't feel like you was institutionalized because I feel like you kind of was referring to that. You don't feel like
Nah,
you was in
yeah,
that trap?
nah. I mean, everybody is to a degree, right? So like,
Hmm. So how were you
um,
institutionalized? You would say.
okay, the biggest thing. And when I say this, you're gonna be like, oh, shit, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So 25 years almost,
Mm-hmm.
I never had to lock a door ever,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't touch no keys, nothing. The corrections officers, they
Yeah.
lock doors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't lock no doors ever.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came home, you know, come in the house, leave the house, whatever. For the life of me, I couldn't remember to freaking lock the doors.
Mm. So your house door,
Yeah,
you
the door to the house. I would leave and just close it and keep it pushing.
damn.
You know what I'm saying? So like, good thing we don't live in a bad neighborhood, but still,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yo, how many times we gotta tell you how to lock the door?
Lock the door, yeah. It's like
But
small
like,
shit like that.
yeah, but like, when's the last time I had to do that? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so like, yeah, that lock the door, that was a big thing. Then, like, all right, so when you locked up and you cooking,
Mm-hmm.
like if you in a facility where you can cook or whatever, and you got pots and pans, the pots and pans are like communal. They're used by like different people.
Mm-hmm.
So when you cook and you empty out the pot or whatever with your food, your rice or whatever in your bowl or whatever, close your bowl. The first thing you're gonna do after you finish getting that food out of the pots and the pans is
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna go wash those pots and pans because there's somebody waiting to use those pots and pans after you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So like out here in the free world, people cook whatever they, put whatever out the pan on the plate or whatever, and they just leave the dishes in the sink and they start eating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I still do that where like before I start eating, I'll wash the dishes.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like
Yeah.
I know ain't nobody using the dishes after me,
There's
but
a
it's still
habit.
that's a habit that
Yeah.
that's what you do. Because I don't. And then on the positive note, I'm like, yo, once when I sit down and I start eating, I don't know about you, but if you eat a good meal,
Mm.
you got the itis, you don't want to get
Oh
up, you don't want
yeah,
to, you know what I'm saying? Like
for
that's
sure.
it, that's a wrap. So
Mm.
let me get this out the way now so I can relax.
Yeah, and it's like yeah, because a lot of people do. I mean, because that's a good habit though. Even though it is kind of like institutionalized, that's still a good habit because you get it out the way. Because most people they go like leave it in the sink and wash it later with all the other dishes. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So uh, it's another thing I'm gonna ask you. Have you ever like in your life, right? When did you feel the lowest?
Oh man, the lowest,
Yeah.
the lowest was when I think okay, so I'll say this, like the lowest is like a lot of people's emotions are tied to money,
Mm-hmm. Facts.
right? So when you broke, you feel like, damn, I don't got shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
especially when you free.
Yeah. Uh, well, I don't know what it. I don't know what it feel like to be broke while I'm free yet.
Yeah.
But like being sorry for all the
Nah.
broke people. I'm sorry. But if you broke, it's your fault probably. But
Yeah,
anyway,
for sure.
um, locked up, bro, because like a lot of people depend on other people to send them money and shit, right?
Hmm.
So like I think the lowest point is like the worst feeling I've ever felt in my life is being hungry. You understand what I'm
Mm.
saying? So you hungry, like no food, like you got instances in where so all right, so they allow you to take 4 slices of bread out the mess hall,
Hmm.
right? So but if you take more than 4 slices, if you get a C or this or you know what hole,
Hmm.
it'll be like, yo, you got more than 4 slices, throw that in the garbage,
Mm.
right? So imagine being broke, you don't have no food in your cell, He like, all right, I'm gonna take these little bit of bread out the mess hall, but you're super hungry. Maybe they had garbage for chow that night or whatever, but and you take 6 slices out the mess hall. You
Mm-hmm.
try to take 6 slices out the mess hall, and you have somebody to tell you, yo,
Mm-hmm.
all right, bro, take care, Benji. You have somebody to tell you, yo, that's more than 4 slices, throw it in the garbage. Like it's no big deal though.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's no big deal. And now you can either throw that in the garbage or like try to beef with the dude and then wind up getting your teeth kicked in and getting the boot treatment. Like these dudes will straight up they have like kill people, beat
Mm-hmm.
people to death in there. Like they just maybe a year or so ago started having to have body cameras in there. They're making corrections officers wear body cameras now because of all the beatings and stuff like that. So
Uh,
like they was beating people up so bad all the time that they're like dudes that if you survive, dudes is putting lawsuits on them and winning.
mm-hmm.
So the state can't pay all that money. So they're like, you know, let's we got to do something.
Yeah, sure. So, did you see that viral thing that was going around about the dude that was in Alabama? He was like malnourished and like I don't know if you seen that. Like, have you seen that?
Nah, you said he was in Alabama in the prison.
Yeah, and like he went viral because he wasn't getting medical attention. Do you feel like that's common, or you think that's like? Did you see a lot of that during your time?
Um, it depends, man. Like I saw, did I see a lot of it? No, I didn't see a lot of it. That's not to say it doesn't happen,
Yeah.
but it happens to people that people don't care about. And what I mean by that is
Mm,
usually that will happen to somebody who has a messed up case. So
mm,
like if you victimize a child, if you victimize like if you're a rapist or
mm,
something like that. Now, I'm not going to give my opinion on that.
mm.
All I'm going to say is that you things like that usually happen to those types of people.
Oh, okay, okay. So you don't think it was an institutional thing?
I
Like,
mean, no, it could be institutional in the sense where you got a dude that's like that they just don't like you.
mm.
It could be that simple. Like I don't like you. Like I'm sure you've encountered during your lifetime people is like, I don't like that dude right there.
Oh
Why
yeah,
he did
sure.
something to you? No, I just don't like him. I don't like his voice, or I don't like the way his face looks. Just like
Any
stuff
form of
like that
life.
happens. Yeah. So you have uh you have instances like that. Like I remember an incident that happened to me where
Mm-hmm.
an officer just picked me and start, next thing I know, I'm in the box. And I got a misbehavior report for assault on staff. He says that I took a swing at him. And actually, he said I took a swing at him and that I hit him. And
Mm.
I'm like, yo, if I would have hit this dude, they'd have beat the dog shit
Hell
off
yeah,
him
I
or
was about
tried.
to say that.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't have just sent me to the box.
So how'd you get out of that situation without getting in more trouble?
Well, okay, I see this. Family speaks out after images of Alabama inmate go viral. Um, that situation, oh man, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, you just seen it now, right? Yeah, you looked it up.
Yeah, Castillo Vaughn.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, man. Um, but that situation, that was one of the things that woke me up because I used to be one of those dudes to be like, oh, if you're not doing nothing wrong, they're not gonna mess with you, da 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 da.
Mm.
Da. And I wasn't doing nothing wrong, and the dude just like fucked my whole bit up with that bullshit, man.
Damn.
Just
So,
just because he felt like, whatever,
mm.
fucked my whole bit up with that shit.
So you mentioned you was in the hole. Um, talk about that because a lot of people say like that's like um that could really fuck with your mental.
Oh yeah, it can. Like if you don't occupy your mind, bro. Like when
Mm,
you in the box, and if you in the box like regular, it's not like I used to joke with a friend of mine.
mm,
She's always like, "Oh, you in there? It's just nothing in the cell with you, and there's a little mouse that's your friend." Like joking like on
mm,
TV type shit. But I'm like, nah, it's cells with people in the cell next to you and next to them and next to them. There's a whole tier full of people. It's just like y'all locked in 23 hours a day.
mm,
You're only allowed to come out for, it's supposed to be 1 hour, but it's more like 45 minutes because they count the time that they let you out and walk all the way to another cage to put you outside.
yeah.
But like um books, man, books, reading. What did it say? Reading is fundamental.
Yeah, yeah.
Like books was like the best thing, man. Like uh a lot of people use books to just like escape because it's a mental escape. Your body's in prison, but uh give a dude the Harry Potter series, and
Mm,
then you won't see him for a while. He's in the
yeah.
book, you know.
Facts.
Or a lot of us in there read a lot of before they start banning it, the Robert Greene books.
Oh yeah, the 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah, 48 Laws of Power, Art of Seduction, 33 Strategies of War. That's
Mm,
my favorite, actually. 33 Strategies of War. I still, uh, I still got that book in here somewhere.
nah, that's what's up. So, how'd you keep tapped in with the outside world while you was in there?
Oh man, that's the hardest part, man.
Uh-huh.
Like in the box, that's the hardest part because all you got is the radio and and what they call the wall. So the wall is like
Mm,
it's a little box on the wall that you can plug into, and you got like one headphone, like one big metal headphone that you can put like listen to like this, and you don't get to choose like what channel it is. It's three little holes there. Whatever's playing in them three little holes, that's what you're gonna listen to. Whether it be like the news or NPR or the radio, whatever. And they ain't playing no they ain't playing no rap music like that. They playing alternative and stuff like that. So a lot of dudes who did box time, like major box time, they come
mm.
out the box, end up, singing. You ever see that movie White Chicks where they got that big black dude singing the white girl song?
The black chicks.
Nah, it's a movie called White Chicks, and the
Oh,
dude
nah, I know what you're talking about.
Terry Crews is scene where Terry Crews is singing "Making My Way Downtown." Da, 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 that
Yeah.
song. Yo, that shit is real because it's dudes that's in the box right now. Like all they got to listen to is that alternative music, and you hear it so much, you end up liking it.
Nah, for sure, for sure.
But yeah, staying in touch with the outside world as far as when you're in the box is just magazines like Newsweek magazines, Time magazines, and then the news that's on that little on the wall in there that you can hear. Mm.
So, what would you say is your greatest fear?
Right now,
Yeah, or just in general.
right now, or in general, my biggest fear is being being injured, not being able to work.
Hell yeah.
Because like, and when you inside, that's like the biggest. That's like the worst thing is that it's so hard to provide for yourself when you're in there.
Hmm.
Can you provide for yourself? Yes, you can. But it's very difficult to provide for yourself while you're in there. But when you're on the outside, it's very easy to provide for yourself. So, but if you're injured or something, if you're that's that's like I don't want that to happen.
Nah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Nah, you know what I'm saying? That's true. So, uh, what would you say is your biggest pet peeve?
Lying. I can't stand fucking lying motherfuckers, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Because these lie people lie usually for two reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Either you're scared or you think the person you're lying to is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like kids lie because they're scared. They don't
Yeah.
want to get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take that for example, lying because you're scared is usually either kids lying to adults, uh, adults lying to adults that's in somebody that's in a superior position. Like if you're lying to the cops or if you're lying to your boss or you're lying to your girl or whatever, you're scared because you don't want to we don't want them to know you fear what's going to happen if they find out the truth. But then you have, you lie to somebody because you think they're stupid, you
Yeah.
know, and they'll go for anything.
So,
So,
you know what
yeah.
people be like when people say they lie because they don't want to hurt somebody? Would you say that like that's an acceptable lie?
Um, I would say no. I understand the reason.
Yeah.
That's like um not yelling fire in a crowded theater. Like
Mm-hmm.
even though there may be a fire, but if you yell fire, it may cause more harm than good because it may cause like a stampede and people get trampled and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like that's the reason the government uses for lying to the public about certain things. Well, if we
Yeah.
would have told them the truth, it would have caused more harm than good in XYZ kind of way. But my thing is, tell me the truth so I can figure out what I want to do myself. Because by lying to me, you're taking away my choice
Mm.
to do whatever it is I want to do. Right?
Yeah,
So,
not
but
for sure.
but when you lie to me and you take away my choice, you're it's like I said, you're playing me for stupid. You're smarter than me, so you're the one playing the in the parental role. Like, listen, if I give you this information, you're gonna hurt yourself with it. So I'm gonna decide for you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So
So
I
now
would.
that just made me think of something. So like, seeing as though you did so much time, right? Um, when you came home, did your family dynamic change, or was you able to like come back like you never left, like in terms of your family? Like, did was it like a whole culture shock when you came back?
Um, I don't think so. I don't think so because like a lot of people have have told me like, oh, you the way you are and the way you're living is like, almost not quite, but almost like you've been here the whole time. So
Mm,
like aside from my shortcomings and not locking the door and stuff like that, it's like I could use the phone better than some of the people that have been out here.
mm,
Like you know, I could I don't know. I have certain things that people that have been out here don't have,
mm.
and like everybody's in a different situation, so that's not like
Yeah.
an affront to like those people.
Nah,
But
but I know what you mean.
yeah,
Like, you was able to make up for lost time, in kind of like in a
exactly,
sense. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. That's
Because
exactly,
you was productive with your like with your absence. You know what I'm saying?
exactly, exactly.
Nah, so that's what's up though. You know what I'm saying? So like, what do you think is the mentality behind somebody that does the amount of time you did, but then they just choose not to be productive? Like, they just choose to just chill. They chill through their whole thing.
Mm.
I'm saying a whole bit.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. You have people that told me, "Oh, you about to get out? Yo, you know what? When you get out, man, just take like a month and a half, 2 months, and just chill." So I was like, "Chill? What you mean by chill? You know, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna need some time to decompress." That was the word he used, decompress.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna need some time to decompress and just, get your head right and da da da. I said, I've been decompressing for 24 and a half years. Like,
Yeah.
the fuck is she talking about? Like,
Yeah.
it's time to go. It's time to do stuff. It's time to do the things that I was in the cell daydreaming about. Like, oh, I want to go here. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
you can only do those things, when you secure the bag first. Like, come on, bro.
Hell yeah.
You can't, you can't, you can't even take a girl out on a date for less than a
A
hundred
hundred.
dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Not
come
even
on,
that
bro.
for real. You kind of playing
And that's and that's
playing it
and that's
close.
budgeting, kind of,
Yeah.
you know. So like when I hear stuff like that, it lets me know like the mentality of certain people. Um, there's no time to chill. You just been like this dude. What's his name? Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
In one of his songs, he was like, "The judge gave me that time. I did that time, like nap time." Right? I told that to somebody. I told that to somebody who asked me why people in prison look so young. I was like, "Yo, we get a lot of sleep. We get a lot of sleep. So if you've been uh, getting a lot of naps and all that while you was locked up, it's time to wake up and go hard when you get out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you had enough time to rest, bro."
Hell yeah. So like, when you having all that time, like, what stops you from crashing out? Because I know that's a lot of that goes, like, a lot of people would have gave up. You know what I'm saying? Like, having to do a quarter, they would have just been. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, like I said, man, the hope that you're gonna get out before the time is up is the big thing.
Oh
And
yeah.
then just like the mentality of certain people, everybody's different. Like you got people who, sad to say, who don't make it. Sad to say, you got
Mm-hmm.
people who, wind up having mental issues and wind up on some serious medication, and then, you know, go down that rabbit hole. They never make it back, man.
Yeah.
So,
So this is kind of like a introspective question. So you gotta think about it. But how do you think people see you?
hmm, hmm, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I think a lot of the people that I care about, right,
Mm-hmm.
see me as ambitious but naive.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's evident that, through my actions, uh, what I'm capable of, etc., all of the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have like naive because I just got here.
Mm-hmm.
Like other people have been here. Like I didn't know that if you use more than one third of your credit card limit, that negatively affects your credit.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I first got out, the way I was doing, I was using credit cards in order to pay my cell phone bill, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
Just paying it off. But even though I was paying everything off on time, never had a late payment, my credit starts, taking a hit. But
Yeah.
or I've never, before coming out, I never paid a bill before, or
Mm-hmm.
I've never, you know, all the things that you learn how to do coming up, or a big problem that I have,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's comes from, things that you do when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
speeding when I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
So like I got two speeding tickets. I got one speeding ticket. I was doing 64 and a 45. Then I got another speeding ticket in California where I was doing 110 and a 65. So like my cousin is like, yo, man, the shit that all of that, that's the shit you do when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be out here at 42 years old doing a 110 on the highway.
Yeah.
Like, nah, you get arrested for that. That's
Yeah.
reckless driving.
But you think maybe you was doing that because you didn't? There's a lot of stages you ain't get to go through because of your situation. You know what I'm saying? Because normally everybody does that. Like as soon as you get your license, you speeding, but you getting it out your system. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, exactly. And that's what we had discussed. He was like, yo, he was like, all the shit that people do when they're young, you can't do that.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, you can't do that, man. And honestly, like the stakes are a lot higher for me,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm lucky that when I got pulled over, the person that pulled me over wasn't an officer from that county. So like legally, he shouldn't. He's not even allowed to give me no ticket or nothing. He's supposed to call another officer or whatever who was from that county. So like that's like a police from Brooklyn trying to give a dude from upstate Schenectady or Albany or whatever a speeding ticket.
Mm.
It's just not you don't do that.
Yeah. So like you feel like you got like a lot of stuff out of your system by now, or you feel like it's still a process?
I would say it's still a process. I'm
Yeah.
trying though.
Hell yeah.
I'll be
Nah,
I'll be driving. I'll be like, all right, I'm just staying in the middle lane. I'm chilling.
hell yeah.
And
Uh,
I drive a Beamer, so a car go past me. I'll be like, man,
for sure. How long you been home so far?
it's 18 months now.
18 months. Damn. So yeah, cause I remember you had just came home when I had found out about you. I think you were like a couple months home. That's crazy. And you already been able to do all the stuff that you've been doing. So that's dope as hell, man. Nah, real talk.
Yeah, thanks.
Nah, so if I asked you at age 5 what you wanted to be when you grew up, what would you say?
I would have said I want to be a police officer.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Dang. So okay. So that made me realize it. So, at what age did that change?
Oh man. Probably when I was like 14, probably when I start having bad experiences with them.
Hmm. Yeah, that happens. You know, it's
Where
crazy in our communities. That's a good point you brought because we like at an early age you tend to like um, have respect for politicians, these different figures, but then you start to have as soon as you have your one encounter where it's like, damn, that it ain't, you know what I'm saying? It
hmm
ain't sweet, you know what I'm saying?
hmm Yeah, exactly, man. Like, and then like after my college experience, I start like, and this is like not against good law enforcement. Like when
Yeah, fact.
what's his name? Quentin Tarantino tried
Mm-hmm.
to speak up about you know, police brutality and police who were murdering, you know, black men, unarmed black men, unjustifiable. And they came at him about that. He's like, "What are you coming at me?" He said, "I'm talking about the bad ones. I'm talking about the ones who are murdering people,
Mm-hmm.
who are, brutalizing people. uh outside of the boundaries of the law, like, and they still was coming at him. But like,
Mm,
I was like, that's crazy, bro. But um, when you look at like the experiences that you have with, like I said, law enforcement, and that shit just it just it awakens something inside of you, man. Like I was the first time I had a few bad experiences, but I won't say the
mm,
first time, but the worst time.
mm,
I was at school and we had like I was in junior high school and my high school was it was two junior high schools in Albany, right? One
mm,
was in the bad quote unquote bad side neighborhood, the bad neighborhood, and one
mm,
was in the like okay neighborhood or whatever you want to call it. So I was in the school that was in the okay neighborhood.
mm,
So we have a McDonald's that's like you take a back pathway and you go to McDonald's. So
mm,
we're at McDonald's and they had some event at nighttime at my school, so it was a lot of kids in there, whatever at McDonald's. And I'm in there with some of my friends, and my friends are mixed. You got some Hispanic, some white, some
mm.
me, black dude, and you got some Asian people in there. It's like an eclectic mix.
Yeah.
So you had kids from the other school who was all of those kids were black kids,
Mm,
and they like came into the McDonald's, right?
mm,
They came into the McDonald's. There was probably like I don't know, 20, 30 deep.
mm,
And the McDonald's must have called the police or whatever. So the police came in there kicking people out of McDonald's. And when they start kicking people out of McDonald's, they was grabbing all the black kids. They start
mm,
grabbing the black kids, throwing them out of McDonald's. So, mind you, I'm sitting down with my friends with my food that I paid for, about to eat, and the freaking cop grabs me and physically like picks me up and throws me out of McDonald's. So I'm outside with all these kids from another school that I don't know,
mm.
and my food that I paid for is in there with my friends. And I'm like, yo, what the heck? This dude just like removed me. I'm a paying customer, removed me from my seat physically and threw me out. And I didn't even do nothing.
Dang, that's crazy.
It is crazy, man.
So, if you could, um, hold on, let me see. Is there anything that makes you feel anxious?
Um, I'm always just anxious about bills, man. I got real world problems now, right?
Yeah, for sure. Nah, 'cause that's a good point you made up. So like, well, I mean, I guess it's like a good thing, but I feel like a lot of people sometimes they have a hard time adjusting to having like like you said real world problems.
Mhm.
But I feel like for you though, I feel like you embrace it though. You could correct me.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because like when you in there and you hear people on the outside talking about, oh, my bills,
Mm,
yo, my this, my that.
mm,
You be on the phone with them like, I wish I had those problems.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you like now I can tell like you feel blessed to because like that's one thing like I respect though too because what I'm saying you been home 18 months and you begin into it you doing the architecture um you got your own business and all that and I seen was it I think you doing correct me if I'm wrong plumbing too.
Yeah, I hate doing plumbing, but I'll do it. Uh, my prices reflect that I don't like to do plumbing.
Yeah, yeah, I feel
Let's
you.
just say that.
I
But
feel you. So
yeah, I do. I try to do plumbing, do electric. Um, I got I got guys on the team that do carpentry, flooring. whatever. We
Yeah.
pretty much do it all. And if I can't do it, I got somebody that can do it.
So
It'll
it's
get done.
so it sounds like the architecture move is like what you really want to be doing.
I mean, this is less hands-on, as
Mm.
far as like being in the field and stuff like that. Um, I ain't gonna front. I like going from place to place. Yo, my heat is out. All right, I'll be right there. Shoot over there. Boom, boom, boom. All right, next. Oh, yo, this, that, that. Oh, the pipe bust. Oh, shoot over here.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the work, this kind of work, that kind of work is rewarding, not only for the money that you get, but for the appreciation, the gratitude that people give when, you fix somebody's dishwasher that they haven't used in 3 years, or you put the heat on in somebody's house, and it's a single mom with kids, and it's I don't know, like 5 below 0 outside. It's crazy cold in New York.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you, man. But nah, man, for sure, man. I appreciate you, dog, for tapping in with us, man. For real, for real.
Hmm.
And I feel like if you're interested though, cause like the way I do it, I chop these joints up, turn them into like a nice little interview, whatever. But I
Hmm.
also want to do like more, like we got the interview stuff out the way too, but I want to bring you back on more frequently, and we could do like just topics if you want, like let's say something happening or whatever, like the like any topic, like let's say like whatever, you know what I mean, and then you know what I'm saying, you could like say your opinion type thing.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. We can do that. That's cool.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying.
yeah,
Hey,
you know what I'm
like
saying?
like current events type of stuff or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the
yeah,
dude,
because
like you was talking about the dude and that went
Alabama.
viral. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like one thing I noticed about you, um, you got a good like perspective and a different perspective. Like you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie, when I asked you that question, because that's why I like to ask that question. Because when I asked you that question about would you forgive your girl for cheating,
Hmm.
um, it was you and the other this other guy that I had interviewed. Like y'all kind of had the same answer, but yours was like a little bit, kind of like a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So yeah, though. Nah, so that was the thing. But yeah. So all right. One last question, like before we get out of here. Um, did you all right. What are you trying to do like in 5 years? Like, what do you like? What's your vision? Like, where you want to be at in 5 years?
I want to run the city. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so all right. So look, let me show you something. So like right now, what I do is uh property improvement, right? In construction. So that's like everything. Like I don't turn down a lot of jobs. Um, I do turn down some, but I don't turn down a lot of jobs. So like it could be as small as somebody like, yo, I need my sink replaced. All right, I'll replace the sink. Or yo, I need a deck built. Or like what I'm like I was showing you what I'm doing now is this is for somebody. We built this part already, this deck right here, and
Mm-hmm.
now we have to build these stairs right there. So that's a bigger project, obviously. But like people call me for all types of things. They call me to fix the sink. They call me if the drains are clogged. They call me to do electrical work. Something's not working. Da, da, da. So I'm like, yo, you know what would be dope if I just had like a headquarters with a freaking big computer screen or whatever, with a map of the city, and I
Mm-hmm.
had people working for me where I'm like, all right, we got a call about a pipe bust over here XYZ street number,
Mhm.
whatever, whatever, whatever. Go over there, send somebody over there. Oh, we got a call about an outlet that doesn't work over here in this part of town. Send them
Mhm.
that, whatever, go over there. So basically just being the brains of the operation where you're directing traffic.
Mhm.
So, but I don't want to be the dude that's like, yo, my business runs itself and I'm off in Tahiti somewhere, not involved. I always want to be involved.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because that's just like uh like Sherlock Holmes said, the mind, you need to keep it moving. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
So kind of like, because the way it sounded like was more, not to oversimplify it, but like kind of like an Amazon for home repair.
Yeah, you can say like that, yeah, because it's door-to-door service, and you just call up and tell them what the problem is.
And instead of shipping a product, you just shipping the serviceman that's gonna fix the problem.
Exactly, yeah. Like, no matter what time you call, somebody's gonna be there.
Oh, no matter, damn, that's vicious. So like, if you need like something at like 3 a.m., like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
there you go. I mean, and I've gotten those types of calls where there was the dude called me, was like, "Yo, I need you to go over. Um, they got a gas. It's not really a pipe, but it's like a flexible pipe where
Mm.
gas comes through there." And he said, it was like, "Yo, it's shut off. I need you to reconnect it to another one, and then get it back on, and this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah." So like, I'm totally confused. Like, why is this a 1, 2, 3 in the morning type of whatever? But apparently it needed to be done because some lawyers was up as what about getting the heat on and da da da
Mm.
whatever. But I
Yeah,
went there and I did it and got paid.
dang, that's what's up. That's dope. So this plumbing thing is, yeah, because I mean, because somebody told me, man, you always gonna need plumbers, and I don't think plumbing is something that like a robot could do. And you could correct me if I'm wrong. Like, you think they're gonna be able to have robots that could do plumbing?
I don't think
'Cause
so, man. Like,
yeah, because
I
that's
don't
kind of
know.
too complex for a robot. That's not nothing.
I mean, anything, plumbing, electric, only because there's troubleshooting involved.
Yeah,
So like you can have something leaking or something sparking in the same exact way, but the cause is not the same.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah, like
exactly. Because robots, they're only gonna be able to function in a format where it's like a repetitive process, like where you just doing the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah. So like I had somebody call me about yo, the ceiling is leaking. So I cut a hole in the ceiling. I look up, I'm like, the ceiling was actually leaking. So it wasn't like a pipe or something that was bust and it was leaking onto the ceiling. But
Mm-hmm.
when after further investigation, we found out that there was a floor under the floor. So there was a space like this much between the two floors where there was a floor there. So a bunch of water had pooled up because the person upstairs, when they installed the toilet, they didn't install the toilet properly. So every time they flushed the toilet, water seeped out into that floor and just pooled up like this much, and it
Mm-hmm.
started leaking. But you would never think of that unless like you drilled a hole in the ceiling and stuck a little camera up there.
Yeah, exactly. So robots can't really. It's gonna be certain things that robots can't do. So that's true. So all right. So one last question though. Would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Definitely extrovert.
Or
Unless unless I'm pissed off, then I'm an introvert.
okay, okay. So so in what so you feel like you're extrovert in like every situation, or you feel like there's situations where, or you said like when you're pissed off, you turn into an introvert.
Yeah, I just be like, I feel like I don't want to say nothing because like I don't want to say nothing that like they say what is words are like bullets. When you let them go, you can't pull them back.
Okay. So all right, and what do you think men and women could be platonic friends?
Absolutely. I got friends that are women.
But you got friends that are women, but have you like have you ever thought about it?
I have friends that are women that I have friends that are beautiful women
Mm,
that they're like a sister.
mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you think it's possible, and you don't think it's only because and not just in your situation, but just in general, you think it's only because um they haven't had the chance yet. Because a lot of people feel like if a man and a woman are friends on a man's end, it's only because that man doesn't have the chance.
I mean, I've had the chance. Like, like if like the instance I told you, sometimes I pick up my
Mm-hmm.
friends to drive them home, and they like, I'm like,
Yeah,
you drunk right now? Like, you
yeah.
drunk? I
But
know
then,
you drunk.
but then that would mean that it wouldn't be platonic if you had the chance, though, too.
I mean, if you had the chance
You know
and
what
you
I'm saying?
didn't take it, it like on her end maybe, but like I
Yeah,
said, if she's like drinking, that to me that don't count.
the
Um,
alcohol. So,
yeah, so that's the issue right there is like blame it on the alcohol. But if it was an instance where they're like, yo, we like the same things and da 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 da, and they trying to holler at you, or you trying to holler at them, of course, like now you done stepped over into some other shit. But
mm,
even if it started out like you was trying to holler and they turned you down,
mm,
right? Because I got friends that um maybe I tried to holler or I did try to holler, I got turned down, but now we're just friends. And if let's just say like they touch your shoulder a weird way, and you're like,
mm,
ew, like
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So like it's I don't know. For some dudes it's different. Like for me it's mental. So once you're in the
yeah.
friend zone, you're in the friend zone, no matter how it started.
Oh, okay. So I get what you're saying. So you're saying though, even though you might have had the chance, that was then, and once it's like, all right, we gonna commit to this friend thing. You're not crossing that line. But
No.
it's interesting because you also believe that it don't count with the alcohol. But then when you think about it though, right?
Mhm.
With your like a true platonic friend, like a male friend, and you straight, alcohol don't come into play.
That's because you're straight. Like
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, and that's a platonic one. But like, you feel because I feel like if it's strictly platonic, because I'm not saying I disagree with you because I do agree with you, right? I do think men and women can be platonic friends, but in those situations, I also don't think the alcohol plays comes into play because they really looking at each other on some like brother sister type shit.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it depends on how drunk too, because I ain't gonna say no names, but one of my friends was like,
Mm.
I want to have your baby. I'm like, yeah, you fucked up. You fucked all the way up.
Yeah,
Saying that. You know
nah,
you drunk.
nah, I feel you. But yeah,
But yeah, but
nah,
when
but
they
yo,
friends, when like I said, no matter if you try to holler, but then y'all
mm,
friends or whatever, to me, once you friends, just the how I look at shit, like I'm not looking at you like that no more, because like the experience that we have as friends puts me in a mind state where I'm like, oh, I ain't fucking with you. Like, I wouldn't
mm,
be romantically involved with you because, like, I know you. Like,
mm,
certain things that you've done around me that I'm like, oh, that's not ladylike. but you only do that because you're not trying to impress me. I'm not trying to impress you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the level that we on. So like,
Okay, so you feel like you just seen certain sides of them that don't even want to
yes,
make you cross that line.
it's not sexy anymore. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Okay, okay. So nah, cause that's I don't know, cause I just feel like once you have that line where you know that like somebody got the chance, either you or her, cause it has to be from both sides. Neither one of y'all had the chance, and then
mhm.
you know what I mean. Like you don't want to do that. She would never do that. But nah, I do see what you're saying though, for real,
Yeah.
for real.
But the chance, just that language itself, the chance implies that like there's somebody waiting right there. It's somebody waiting in the wings. Like if we was at the Apollo
Mm-hmm.
and somebody was on stage and I'm like in a runner's position, like ready, set, go position, waiting for them to fuck up so I could go in there. Like, but when you friends, ain't no,
Oh
you're not waiting on the side like for your chance.
yeah,
You know what I'm
I see what
saying?
you're saying.
Like, you might be on the sideline, but you on the sideline so you can see all the real shit going on. Like, you're not on in the audience watching because the audience only sees certain shit. But like, if you friends with a chick, you like you could see more than people in the audience because you know when your friend fucked up. But the audience might not see it because she played it off real good or whatever. But like,
Nah, facts. And especially cause when she trying to date somebody, she not letting you know what I'm saying. She's not like the curtains ain't all the way open. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, she's on like you said, she's on the curtains ain't all the way open. She's on stage again, and the the dude's only seeing what she's allowed him to see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Nah,
saying? But
that's true.
as a friend, you probably heard her fart before. You probably like, you know what I'm saying? Like mad stuff that you like. We friends. That's it. Like, and they a good friend too. Like some of the female friends I find
Mm.
sometimes it's better than male friends, bro, because they'll do so much for
Helpful.
you, so
Mm-hmm.
much for you. Like I had one of my friends, my car was messed up. She let me hold her car. She was like, "Yo."